have a look at this affective filter hypothesis. So the affective filter is a mental block, and it prevents acquirers of te reo Māori, for example, from fully utilising the comprehensible input they receive for language acquisition. So a high filter is when the filter is up, the acquirer may understand what they hear and read, but the input doesn't reach the language acquisition device. So this occurs when the acquirer is either unmotivated or lacking in self-confidence, or they may be a bit anxious, or when they're on the defensive, or when they consider the language class to be a place where a weakness will be revealed. So if we think about that, and we think about, what Rangihuri here was sharing earlier around just introducing herself and her name, and then the reactions and the responses that she gets, there's definitely a weakness being revealed, a weakness in someone's ability or capacity to even hear te reo Māori and then repeat the words back to them. A low filter, so the filter is down when the acquirer is not concerned with the possibility of failure, when he considers himself to be a potential member of the group speaking the target language. So the filter is lowest when the acquirer is so involved in the message that they temporarily forget what they're hearing, that they're hearing or reading another language. And one of the successful stories around this is te Tarangi. So when if you've studied te Tarangi, or if you've participated or been involved in a te Tarangi course, the participants and the teachers are so engaged in moving the blocks around and working with the rākau that for that moment, ka wareware, he reo atua no tēnei, they temporarily forget because they're so involved in the action that it make the filters come down, and it makes it easier for the language to get in and actually stick. So if we look at that some more, let's have another look at an example of a low filter. So there's low anxiety, low defenses, the input sticks easily and quickly, and they can quickly adapt to different contexts. And so speaking freely becomes easy and effortless. So this is an example from my partner. This is something that Jackie says. So I'm a bit whakamāti kōrero Māori, but I'm okay to read Māori aloud from a paper or talk Māori to my dog. E noho poto, haere mai poto. So that's really easy for her. There's a little bit of whakamā there, but low filter. The high filter, so there's high levels of anxiety, high defenses. People can comprehend, but the input doesn't stick. The words don't stick. The structures don't stick. And there's a bit of fear that a weakness could be revealed. It makes speaking challenging regardless of how many courses we do, regardless of however many wānanga we go to, however many books we read. Speaking is still challenging. So this is my partner again. I'm whakamāti kōrero Māori in front of people who know how to kōrero Māori, especially mātanga reo. Doesn't matter if I'm reading from a piece of paper or just saying hello, the words kia ora just won't come out of my mouth. And this is typical. Every time my dad goes to Jackie, kia ora Jackie, Jackie responds, hello. Or even, Pethana Jackie, good, thank you. So no matter what, and then every time she goes, oh, I did it again. Oh, I did it again. So that context makes that context is a high filter for her. Just speaking Māori in front of my dad is a high filter for Jackie. So if we look for ourselves right now, can you think of either a low filter context or a high filter context where whakamā is present, but with the low filter, kei reira tori te whakamā, but you can quickly get over it and quickly push past the whakamā. And then there's another high filter type of context where the whakamā is there and it stops you in your tracks. Can anyone think of an example for themselves? I can see you nodding your head, Auntie Georgie.
He taupā katoa tōku ao. Yeah, so I had that whakamā and, well, I'm not good enough. Koena.
Yeah.
That taho o ngā mātanga reo.
Yeah.
Me, bosses and the top management and things like that, I just don't think I'm in their class to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I just hide or don't say anything. And like I'm quite comfortable here to talk.
Yeah.
In other forums, I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's high.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Low would be, what plate am I going to take to kaitahi? That would be a low.
Yeah. Awesome, Auntie. So in this context, even just here with us, there might be a little bit of a taupā there, but you are a member of this class. You're a member of the speaking class, and the language is so ngāwari. There's no expectations to be mātanga. There's no expectations to kōrero Māori all the way through. There's also no expectations to kōrero English all the way through. So there's a level of comfort there for you.
Yeah, there is. Even with those big kupu you're using, I'm thinking, oh, well, no, and everybody else sharing, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get to the mātangas, and mātanga in any area. There's mātanga reo, and then there's like the mātanga CEO level of business, PhD level of academia, those kinds of contexts where it would be natural if you don't think of yourself as a member of that group. It's completely natural for the filters to start escalating. Yeah? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Auntie. He whakaro. Yes, Rangiuri here.
Oh, kia ora whaia, Georgie. I really resonated with that kupu that you said, class. Like, it made me think of, not even with te reo Māori, but like if I think of my superiors at work, there's like that authority. So whenever they come in, I'm like, oh, shucks, am I on time? Do I look like I'm busy? You've got that perceived, am I doing the right thing? But in terms of te reo Māori examples, I think of people that, Matua Tame is one of them, Raukura, because he's of that caliber of te reo way that you, I don't, not so much freeze up. I don't think I'm the level that you're describing Jackie as, Raukura, where I'll just freeze or, just come respond in English. But there is that sort of, oh, shoot, it's matua tame, like, me tika te reo, me this, me that, and you just start freaking out. And the other one that comes to mind for me is I had the privilege of studying under Po Temara at one point, and he's another one that,
Yeah.
you go to class and you're just like, oh man, me tino tika te reo. It's that you feel a slight intimidation, and there's I don't even know what the kupu are. I just thinking about it, I already feel nervous. I'm just thinking like, if Hui Timora was here right now, am I doing the right things? Am I saying the right things? And it's just I don't know, and maybe not intimidation in a bullying or mean way, but just of that caliber of person and of reo that you're just like, oh well, I'm not in that class, or I'm not in that. They're out of my league almost.
Yeah.
Is a way that I describe it. Yeah, I'm looking at Ariahuia, her papa, Matua Shane. It's another example for me where it's like, oh, another caliber of real speaker.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome, Rangihuri here. And because what I can hear as you're speaking is reverence. You revere these people. You revere Dad. You revere Shane. You revere Poe. And so with that level of reverence and respect, you want to be able to show it. You want to be able to show that, okay, I respect you. E wehi ana. E rongo ana I te wehi. E rongo ana I te ihi I te nui o te mana. E rongo hoki ana I te wehi. And then we start placing expectations on ourselves me kounga. Me kounga toku reo ki mua I tō rātou aro. That's so good. And even, given I know that people revere my dad, I also know him when he's by himself and it's just us. So I have no fears around hapana taku reo. He gives me a look and I'm like, yeah, haha. And what? And even in developing this wānanga, so him and I, we started the research on real trauma and discovered there was no definition. So we developed a working definition. And then developing this wānanga, I go to him and I go, hey, Dad, when I say he kōrero Māori ahau, what do you hear? And as soon as I said he kōrero Māori ahau, he goes, hey, what's that? Oh, nah. That's just weird. What are you trying to say? What are you, like, that sort of initial reaction? And I momentarily thought to myself, oh, that's not the right sentence, or I need to find a different way to say it. But then continued with my research, had another look with him, and I said, this is what I want to convey. And he goes, oh, well, give it a go. So we put it in the wānanga and I'm giving it a go. But I totally get the reverence and the respect and the wanting to be kounga, the wanting to be able to elevate yourself to that level. He paitera, he rawetera. Yeah, kia ora. I saw you put your hand up earlier, Ariahuia.
Yeah, āpiti ki tēnei. I was just thinking even about my own sort of haringa I te reo Māori and te aku I ngā mea wete reo.
Aye.
Yeah, I still need to work on my wete reo because I ahu mai au I te reo Māori. Nō reira te nui ngā ka kōrero he kianga, he kiwaha rānei no te kāinga. I rongo ki te reo ngā kaumātua, nā I whiu pēnei ana taku reo. And yeah, the way in which I say things back home, even at my marae, differs in amongst us in Maniapoto. And so learning wete reo has been where I experience those high filters because, I rongo ki te weri, I rongo ki te mataku, and things are not flying in. He reringa hāngu, suddenly there's a whitu, what are all these aspects of learning these things in te reo Māori? And then it just doesn't feel natural. So I have these kariaroto and they start to fly and build these taupā, and that's where I experience those sort of like that high filter because you know, kei reira te reo, but it's mostly flying from our mote, te our karakia, our wānanga at home, or the things that I've heard from my community, my whānau, or even taku pāpā. Pera i a koe, raukura. I know taku pāpā, you know, when he's out on the paipai, and then I also know him in a personal capacity. So he's not exactly fixing my deal every single day. But you know, we have conversations even with my mum, and we're not really going through making sure that the way that I'm saying things is correct according to these ture reo. So he rere ki te whea ko, engari, koe ara tāku i whakaro ana mo tēnei ahotonga te high filter.
Rawe. Rawe tērā. And so true when it comes to looking at the grammar and the syntax and just the structure of language. That's a language in itself. Like how te rerenga hāngu, how te rerenga tuoti, understanding the I and all categories. Like when reo Māori is naturalized and you grow up with it organically the way you did, Ariahuia, you're not thinking about grammar. You're not thinking, okay, I'm going to use a rerenga hāngu right now. Is my E in the right place? Okay, I'm going to stick to the I and or category. Did I say it? Should that be an A or should that be an or? As you're speaking. What I want to say about the grammar is that the importance of grammar is to convey meaning. So when the grammar alters, the meaning alters. So the importance of understanding meaning is to ensure that what you're saying it communicates clearly, and the meaning is communicated clearly to the listener. Now, when you know someone intimately, like your parents, they know what they understand the meaning without needing to wete the structure. They just get it. People can get it just in your tone. People can also get the meaning by watching your body language. So grammar and wete reo is important, and it's important because it helps you to convey meaning. What we often tend to collapse is when our grammar is wrong, that we're wrong. When my grammar is bad, that means I'm bad. That's a collapse. It's not accurate, but we often collapse it. And then on top of that, when we're speaking, especially out in public, and our grammar is incorrect, and then someone makes a judgment. It could be a look, it could be an A, it could be anything that could trigger us and have us think, oh my goodness, I've done something wrong. I've said something wrong. That means I'm wrong. That's our own internal dialogue. That's not what's happening out here in reality. What's happening out here in reality is your meaning didn't land. What it is that you wanted to communicate, it just didn't land. And so I think someone else earlier started talking, Rangiuri here, you talked about you flick to the other language. If you can see that what you're communicating isn't landing over there with the listener, you'll quickly flick to English to ensure that meaning lands. That is effective communication. So there's nothing wrong with it. Ka pai. There are so many of us who get caught up in that, get caught up and stuck in I have to have my grammar correct. Otherwise, if I don't, then I'm wrong. I have to have my R's and O's correct. If I don't, then I am wrong. I have to have my E's and keys correct. If I don't, then I am wrong. That I am wrong is added. It's not accurate. It just means whatever it is you've got to communicate, it's not landing. And it's not landing clearly. And the listener can get stuck. Ka pai? Rawe tēnei. Awesome. Any other whakaaro about these filters? The low filter and the high filter. Yes, Vinny.
You know, ia koe wai mai ina nahi.
Yeah.
I kia koe I haere mātou ko ngā tama ki te tapahi ota me te whakaharatau, you know, ako I ngā pepeha me ramo mea. And aha ko, you know, he kōrero Māori taku tama ko tūrama. Yeah, ka tū ia ki te tuku I te pepeha I ki tau I wa mea te rā wehi, te rā high anxiety defences.
Yeah.
And I pōhehe au I te mea ko you know, ka tū koe ki taua kōkona, te rore o puahue. Ka tū koe ki kora, he māmata ki te maunga tautari, you know, te kawa, kakepuku, pirongia, e ramo mea. And I said to him, oh, just kora mō maunga, you know, he mihi o maunga, tō ingoa, me te mihi whakakapi. I just tried to give him an easy raupapa.
Yeah.
Engari, and I thought, you know, ka ki te koe awa me, just kora atu, but kore atu whakaro, you know, he rereke tō tirohanga, my tauarori. So he was getting, I could see him, and I was like, yeah, te raru, kei kora te maunga, e moe ana koe ki taua maunga. And then I was realising he might be like seeing the back of someone's head for him, like, kore atu whakaro ki te, and I was making him feel more anxious about it, because kore yeah, I didn't even think about that when I was talking to him, and he whakaro, oh man, me tau aku, me tau awhi au I taku tama, so that he doesn't build up a thing like, oh, like, because he rereke te āhua o te kawa mai taua kōkona, it's like, all you can see is the top, but you can't see the, in kakepuku, you know, mai tērā pito he rereke te koekotanga, it's just all these things I wasn't thinking about, and I was like, oh, now you should know it, because you see it every week or every day. But, yeah, aiwa āhuatanga. And I just think, oh man, you know, mai te kōpū tōna reo, but yeah, I whakararu au I tērā. And I just, ke te kā whakaro au ki te mahi a te hunga e whakaako ana, e tautoko ana. Yeah, don't put it on the me.
But one of the things that we often do, especially if we've already got the reo, is assume that it's easy. And if we think someone else already has the reo, and then assume, oh, you've already got the reo, you've already done your pepeha how many millions of times? It's easy. There's an assumption there that it's easy all the time. But the filters, so we'll call them the taupā. So high filter he taupā nui, low filter, we'll call it a taupā iti. They alter depending on the context. So it sounds like in a different context, kaore he taupā pea, mo tūrama. But when we alter the context and put him in a different context, especially if that context is new and you not quite aware of what's happening. There could have even been a whakaro in tūrama's head. Why? Why am I doing my pepeha? Kaore he tangata. You know, we do this with whakawhanaungatanga, and there's usually I'm talking to people, but there's no one I'm talking to share my whakapapa. So there could have been a, why papa? And then totally there could have been, yeah, is that really kakepuku? Because he looks different from my house. I don't believe you, papa, that's kakepuku. You know,
pōkuru, like, I te nunga whaka whai mātu e tērā, so tērā whakaro, hipatu I tō marae.
Yes, so context really is decisive when it comes to determining the kind of taupā and the way in which taupā arise and how we deal with the taupā in that moment. Ka pai. Okay, so we're going to get into some mahi. And I'm going to invite you to, you can either write down on a piece of paper or type on your computer, kaya koe te tikanga, but start to identify specific taupā. It could be high expectations, it could be just expectations, it could be fear of making mistakes. The one I've got here is just that fear of making a mistake. So I want to kōrero Māori, but I'm scared of making a mistake. And then these are all the contexts that this taupā shows up at the marae, on the maraeatea, when I'm around mātanga, when around people who can kōrero Māori, when people speak to me in te reo Māori, when I have to do my pepeha, those are the kinds of contexts that the taupā arise. And then start to identify which one of those is a high filter and which one of those is a low filter. Ka pai. So we'll just take we'll take 5 minutes. 5 minutes to just write and just brainstorm. As many taupā as you can think of right now, the context, and then categorize whether it's high filter or low filter. A taupā nui or a taupā iti. Okay, so now just choose one. Just choose one of those taupā that you wrote down. And we're going to go to work on dismantling just that one taupā. Ata wete wete, kia wātea ai te huarahi, mo tērā taupā. So, for example, so what you need to do is just identify that taupā and then go through these questions and ask yourself, what are your default actions when that taupā arises? What's your default experiences after taking those actions? And what are the impacts? What are the impacts on you? And potentially, what are the impacts on others? So, for example, my biggest taupā is my fear of failure. And I have that everywhere. It's not just to do with te reo Māori, but I have it everywhere in all my mahi. So any mistake, any misstep means that I'm a failure. For me, means I'm a failure. So I will do anything to avoid failure, especially when it comes to doing the karanga. So I do not like being the kai karanga. I do not like doing the karanga. Ka taia, I can, and I don't want to fail at it. So my default actions are to hide away at the back, wear lots of colour and or pants, because in Waikato Maniapoto we have to wear black when we do the karanga and we have to wear skirts when we do the karanga. So I will deliberately wear pants and I will deliberately wear lots of colour. Or I might just not show up at all and just wait till after the pōwhiri and then make my way to the hui. So those are all the default actions I'll take to avoid doing the karanga. In those moments, though, I feel anxious. I can feel it. It's visceral. I can feel my heartbeat. I can feel the shakes. I can feel the sweat. And then I literally start to shrink. The impacts on me is that I feel guilty because I know I can karanga. The impact on others is that they can't rely on me to have their back when they need a kai karanga. So those are the impacts. So now just speculate. Just speculate and have a look for yourselves, or choose your taupā, choose the taupā, and then look for yourself, what are your default actions? Things you do automatically without even thinking. What's your experience in that moment or in those moments? And what are the impacts on you? And potentially, what are the impacts on others? Let's have a look. Who would like to share? Who would like to share what their taupā and go through those questions? Okay, let's go with you, Rangihuri here.
Oh, kia ora tātou. I thought, we'll all have to share at some point, so I might as well go first. Okay, so the taupā that I identified for myself was, I'll just read out what I wrote.
Yeah.
Being judged for getting something wrong, taking longer, hapa, and then I kind of drilled down, like, what's actually underlying this? And I realized that I would consider myself perfectionist. So there's this perfectionism that's actually driven by a fear of rejection. So it's a fear of being rejected by people, and in contexts where te reo spoken, it's being, this fear of being rejected by the reo speaking community, or the people that I revere in Te Ao Māori, or any rōpū that I'm engaging with. And then so what context? So I kind of answered that. It's around reo speakers, mātanga reo. Even in context wānanga like this, I do agree with you, Georgie. It feels like a safe and space that we've cultivated for ourselves today. But there are other wānanga where this fear sort of comes up for me. Default actions is I default to speaking English, or I default to not speaking at all. So I have been in karahe reo Māori, or contexts where I'll show up, but I just won't speak, because then I won't be showing my faults or that I'm saying something wrong. So it's defaulting to English, not speaking or not participating. There are some times that I might see an opportunity and I'll be like, there might be a part of me that's like, oh, I'd really like to go to that wānanga. And then there's another part of me that's like, oh, no, that's, out of our league. Let's not do it. And then I won't sign up. So that's another, I guess, impact that is not signing up or not showing up. I think the next question was around what we're feeling. Oh, yeah, kia ora.
Yeah.
So default experiences. Yeah, so I think when that fear comes up for me in situations, there's, I feel anxious. There's like almost like a nervousness feeling. You get that physical bodily discomfort. And then another thing that comes up for me is like negative self-talk. So it's like that little, inner critic in your mind that's like, you're not good enough. You shouldn't be here. It's that little voice that sort of just goes around all the time in your mind going, oh, look, you said it wrong again. Oh, you couldn't even think of that word. Oh, you're dumb. Like, it can sometimes be quite critical and quite really negative. You wouldn't speak to your friends like that. It's really kind of sad that sometimes we speak to ourselves like that. And then the impacts, is just putting pressure on myself to be perfect, which no one is. So it's a sort of a silly expectation. And then just that snowball effect. So, continuing not to engage or continuing to revert to English, or, and that negative self-talk sort of spiraling and being disappointed in yourself. So, that's my, how I unpacked my experience.
Nice. Nice. And what are the impacts? Impacts on you and impacts on others. So I get, then you just don't go. You won't show up. What are some other impacts that you can see? Impacts on others, perhaps.
Yeah, I suppose I think of like my whānau. I suppose it's, where was I going with this? That expectation of them on me, but then also I think another impact is that I do, as we all do, have valuable ways that we can contribute to wānanga and whakarauora reo and things like that. And we're actually preventing ourselves from, sometimes we're our own biggest barrier, preventing ourselves from contributing and participating and showing up at wānanga, and sometimes even being in those leadership positions that we can be, but those taupā kind of stand in our way. And I think of example for that is a couple of years ago at our Nehe Nui kuratahi, actually Hariru approached me to facilitate one of the classes, and I declined. I said, "Oh no, I'm e hara i te kaiako reo Māori," and that alone, she thought, or probably your whānau, was possibly a whānau decision. Sort of
Definitely.
My name got put forward.
Definitely.
And there's those of you that sort of were willing to put my name forward, so you have faith that I could do it, but I didn't have that faith in myself. So that's, I guess, another impact is that we don't contribute where we could be contributing because we don't. That taupā is blocking us.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome, Rangihurihia. Thank you. Rawe. Anyone else? And you don't have to share. It's all right. You can keep it to yourself. But as Rangihurihia just pointed out, by sharing, you get to be a contribution to others. That's huge. Cool. Is there anyone else? Yes, kapai. Okay, we'll go to Vinny and then we'll come to you, Auntie Georgie.
Oh, nā kaere te tōtai, ki te hea.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Kapai, kia koe, Auntie Georgie.
Kapai. Vinny, I was trying to run away then. Kapai. So, yes, mine is just not being good enough, doubting myself. And where I'm thinking of is was Auntie Edith's unveiling and that. And although they had kept me in the loop of what was going on, I wasn't there saying, you're doing this, you're doing that. You know how usually I do. And I just felt left out. I felt that I hadn't hit, things weren't going to be perfect. It wasn't going to be done right. And, I really felt left out, so I didn't go. I stopped all communications. I stopped the texts. And just didn't go. That really is my default. I just don't do it. I'm quite happy to look myself in my little flat here and sit here. Then, I just felt guilty. I really felt worthless. And then I felt I let Auntie Edith down. That was her day, I started making up stories. It just escalated. It just got bigger and bigger. And the impact was huge. The impact was that my whānau were let down. They felt let down. Wasn't there to help Auntie Sharon be kaikaranga. I wasn't there to help Dad either, Raukura and that. But also my whānau were worried about me. That was the biggest impact. They were so worried that was I māwiwi, and I wasn't māwiwi or anything. I was just having stupid thoughts in my head. And that's the that's huge. It's huge.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you for sharing that. And I totally get the beating yourself up, Like the thoughts escalate and they spiral, and then you get the impacts, and then you start beating yourself up again, and then the thoughts continue to escalate, and then they continue to spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole, and the taupā of not being good enough, and the actions, like your default actions, totally reinforced that barrier through your experiences, yeah?
Yeah.
Like the I'm not good enough. And the actions you took reinforced that taupā, I'm not good enough. And then you beat yourself up for it because you got the impacts. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I get it. The other thing too, and you said it was Auntie Edith's day. It was her day. Yeah. And you couldn't be there for her. And you couldn't be there for Auntie Sharon, and you couldn't be there for Dad. Those are all the impacts of these barriers, all this taupā, these taupā. How would you describe that in a sentence, just that whole thing? What is that like, living with that, being with that?
Well, first word comes to mind is selfish. You know, I totally didn't thought about me and only me, what I was missing out on, and I didn't even think about the impact for everyone else.
Yeah. I got that, Auntie. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah. Yes, tuku. Whakawātea here.
Yeah.
Rawe. Anything else, Auntie?
Oh, mai ana.
Ka pai. Thank you. Okay, kia koe, Vinny.
Me haro ana ua kōrero, kia ora. I tiro aki taku mea, ko taku mea nui, ko tōku tūwhera ki ngā karearoto o iti atu. Aha ko tōku kore mōhio ki te take o aua karearoto. No tōku tamaititanga tērā, you know, hei me whakaora i au i oku mātua e taupatu ana e whawhai ana, e ni aku au ki te pānui ngā kanohi, me i ngā era mō wairua, engari, kaore au i āta ako pēwhia te teaki i taua āhutanga. So, nā tēnā, ka kaha whirinaki au, me tō taki tini au ki ngā kaupapa katoa, kia tūrangatira ai. I can't do things like, you know, ka tiro atu, you know, ia tātou e kōrero ana mō tētahi pai rangatira, you know, te whāwhānau o Nani May te kanoa.
Yes, at tukotahitanga.
Yeah, I whakaroa ki te pairanga, you know, mātua John Carty, you know, Rahui Papa, Tō Papa, te nui o ngā kau mātua, and I whaka, wow, look at all these fellas. And I mōhio pūau, ko, you know, me ngā kai karanga, te māmo o Koro Harry.
Oh, yes, ngā nehu.
Yeah, I ka tiro au ki era, and oh man, there's no problems here. You know, he piko he taniwha ki tēnei whare. And then, you know, mena koau te tangata e whakahaere ana i te mea ka kimi au i te tangata hei whirinaki. Pere i tō tāua haere ki Tareoanga, i te māwiwitanga o Eri.
Yeah.
And, you know, pohi au ki te haere au ki te awhina ki te kihini, and then next minute, oh, okay. And I was like, oh,
yes, next minute you're on the pai.
Yeah, hara mai, like, cause, yeah. And, I ki te au koera taku default i ngā wā katoa, kei te kaha kimi au i ngā hoa haere, hei whirinaki.
Right. Yeah.
And ko te wairua default, like, I roto i au, ko te pai tū pai hinga, I have to tell, pai tū pai hinga, just pai tū pai hinga, hei aha, because, you know, kia tū tonu te kaupapa.
Yeah.
But, ko te hua, like, I whakaroa ki tērā kōrero mō te mani raute, he mani raute e tae te whakahoro, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it, or, oh no, what have I done? And,
gotcha.
And ia wā, engari, e tino awhina a Koro Harry, i ana kōrero, just
Yeah.
me ona whiako, ana whiako rā. But it's just that's a real big one, just managing, just kia u ki te kaupapa, and me āta whakaaro e pewhi taku uru haumaru ki ngā kaupapa, just ka rongo i rā kare aroto, engari kia u tonu ki te kaupapa. Don't get drift off and go, oh, why is that person looking sad? What's going on over there? No, just, kia rangatira, just, okay, hara mai tō. But it's, I get stuck in those defaults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that manu aute metaphor was actually really good, because you don't know if you're going to hold on to it, and you try really, really hard to hold on to it, but there's like a doubt or a thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to let it go, and then what?
O ka kino taku mau, and ka whakararu tērā i ngā wāhango, titi wāhango o te kaupapa, ka whati te here, ka ahara, and like, am I holding it when it doesn't want to be held, or era momo raru? And the koera nā me ki roto iau, and I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Cool. So in those moments where you don't, if you might be holding it on too tight where it breaks, or you're not holding it on tight enough that it flies away. In those moments, what are the impacts on you and others in those moments?
Oh. Ka kite au, mena ka raru te kaupapa ka hinga aroto.
Yeah.
Koe tērā, ka hinga aroto. Oh, I hoki au ki au kōrero ki tērā wānanga ki Oparurera. And I ki mai koe ki te kore koe whai te A+ tērā pē ka hinga koe. Yeah, era momo ahotanga. Well, mena ka kite au kua rau te kaupapa i aku kōrero, i aku mahi rānei, ka mauahara mo te wāroa. And it just, engari, pai ki au te arotake, and aha ko te arotake me te āta whai whakaaro ki te nui o ngā āhutanga, ka mauahara tonu, and I hate that.
Marama, that mauahara, that worry, that anxiety, that just all that noise, the evaluation and like analyzing and critiquing everything that you did, it doesn't end at the hui. Like, you take it home with you, and then it's there when you're trying to go to sleep. So in those moments, the impacts, what I can hear is the impacts on you is no peace of mind and no freedom. Like, just so constrained, worrying about holding on too tight or not tight enough. And then ki te hinga te kaupapa, something happens in the kaupapa that you've been carrying and it goes wrong. It sounds like it's all your fault. And then you take that with you, and you take it away from the hui, and you take it home. And so there's no peace of mind in the moment. There's also no peace of mind after the event. Yeah.
Engara anō ki te tiro pai kia o me hei wānanga.
Yeah.
Engari, kaore te wānanga i whakamamahu i te nākau, like,
Tika.
This,
Tika. Or the wānanga with yourself.
Yeah.
The wānanga with yourself. Sometimes it can be helpful, but when you experience that constraint and when you experience the ongoing mauahara, then it's not working. Yeah. And that's okay, because once you get, okay, that's not working, what else is there? What else can I do that will work? Yeah. Kia ora. Awesome, Vinny. Thank you. Anything else for you, Vinny? Nope, choice. Pehea koe ari a huia?
Kia ora, o tira, tēnā tātou. I had to have quite a bit of a warning about my taupā, but actually, i ahu mai I te kuratahi, I te rātou. Because I remember sitting there as this first arose and everyone's writing down things and thinking, well, I can do this, I've done that, I know how to do this, I can sing this, I can, say these things. But it was the it was that fear of failure from expectations that actually was like, oh, koera taku taupā, and he maunga teitei tēnā.
Yeah.
You know, koera. And so as I was thinking about, you know, what kind of context, and one of them that pops up often is when I have to do a waiata tautoko. And typically, and there's been a few things that happened as a kid, you know, how I could be like, shush, you can't sing, you're terrible at singing, just because, you know, teina things. And so tērā pēr, ko toa roto ia hau, oh, I can't sing. Or, you know, I'm flat, nei. But little brother, and so every time, so what I found is that when I go to sing a waiata tautoko, I will sometimes pass it off as not a learning opportunity for someone else, which is great.
Nice.
And that's my defensiveness, I think, partially. Is, oh, you know, it's a good opportunity for you to learn. But actually, I'm freaking out internally. And I'm not ready. I'm not going to sing. So, koera tētahi o ngā, I guess, rautaki. But I find that I start to stutter or I lack the confidence. And then I start to feel all that like embarrassment or like high anxiety. I'm second guessing. And sometimes I find perhaps I'm just overwhelmed by all these thoughts in my brain that I've messed up a word or forgotten what happens next in the waiata. And then I'm relying on everyone else to jump in, but perhaps they don't quite have the confidence because I've lacked that from the start. So it's, that just seems to be an ongoing thing. And so it's that embarrassment that I feel from that failure of expectations, because they go, oh, Ari Hui can start us off with a waiata. She knows what we're going to do. She knows all the kupu. But then in my brain, I'm thinking, is it an E or is it a key that's coming up next?
Yeah.
Is it the name of that tupuna in this waiata? Oh my goodness. And it may have been because I haven't really spent enough time learning it to be able to grow and build that confidence within myself. But sometimes it really is just that I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, and now all these thoughts in my brain are clouding what's the next rerenga. And then because either ko hapau or I don't know what's next, everyone else starts to fade in the wire. I think, oh my goodness, now that's on me. That's the impact that I'm having on them because I've lacked the confidence or something's happened, and now that's kind of oozed out of myself to everyone around me. Oh no! And then after that, after the forfeit, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what did I do? And then partially that's that perfectionism because I don't want to make the mistake because, you know, expectations are high. So it's, you know, you should know this, you get it right and whatnot. From that, I've kind of gone on to, you know, learning other waiata that maybe are a little bit older. People haven't really learned for a while because I thought, okay, if I'm going to learn some waiata, learn them well. Now I know the context behind the waiata, I know all these sort of things, but then the people around me don't know the waiata. So they don't know I'm making a mistake sometimes.
Oh, that could be a good thing.
Yeah, engari anō mo taku pāpā. He's looking at me like, hey. But those are the sort of things. So it's that embarrassment of failure from the expectations that I'm building on myself, or perhaps the people around me have kind of brought up. Not that they've mentioned it.
Marama. So good, Aria Huia. And I don't have any good news for you either when it comes to remembering songs. Because as you get older, it really does get harder. Hey, Auntie Georgie. It really does get harder to remember the next line. And then when you're the tātaki, it's like, oh, what's the next verse? So, yes, it doesn't get easier. But there are ways to be with it. And it sounds like you're already starting to develop your own strategies for practicing, learning, things like that. And then there will be times when you're up on that maraiatea and you get the look to start the song and you're just blank. In those,
It has happened, and even recently, yes. I didn't realise that it was time to sing a waiata. I was sitting there listening to the kōrero, And then the kai kōrero finished, and I thought, oh, that's nice. And all the wahine were looking at me like, hey, e tū. I'm like, what's happening?
Oh.
I haven't developed a strategy for that just yet.
Yeah.
But koe nei ka kite. But yeah, it just that high, I guess, teitei maunga of expectations. And kare tino rata ki tērā whakatau ki. Ki te tuahuku e mehe maunga teitei.
Yeah.
I've always thought the whakaaro, you can climb a mountain.
Absolutely.
You can get around it. You can go through the paths. You can, if you tried, you could probably shovel through it. Hoi no. So there's always that ability to be able to climb over and overachieve them. But yeah, it's just for now, I'm slowly processing through that taupā expectations.
Nice. And I agree with you. You know, whaia te iti kahurangi. I'm like, there's the whakatauki, whaia te iti kahurangi ki te tuahuku e mehe maunga teitei. I'm like, whaia te iti kahurangi and ekea ururoatia. And that is probably my perfectionism, my fear of failure. Like when there's a maunga teitei in front of me, man, I just got to keep going and going and going. The thing that's the taupā, the thing, that fear that gets in the way, is it's definitely linked to expectations, but there's also the just unwilling to be with, it's just a failure now. It's just a failure to take the next step right here, right now. That does not mean you are a failure, Raukura. The iti kahurangi will be there mo ake tonu atu, and you have got the entirety of your life to get there. You don't have to do it right here, right now. So that's one of the things that I've developed for myself that gives me peace of mind. E ki te ana te iti kahurangi, e mōhio ana ka ekea ururoatia, a taihoa pea. Kei roto I te wā e tika ana. Those are so he mea hei whakaroaro mā tātou te hunga perfectionist. Ka pai. Okay. So the next part, we've done this, but create a visual display of that experience, of your experience. That experience of, for you, Vinny, that mauahara before the hui, during the hui, and then after the hui. That mauahara of forgetting the words to the songs, or, you know, having the expectation of having to lead a song and then be on and be ready to lead the song. All of those, that experience that you have, those feelings that you have when that taupā shows up in the moment, just create a visual display. So this one is just, I used Gemini, I used AI to create this, and what I experience is it's quite burdensome, and it's heavy, and I'm weighed down by the expectations, by my fear of failure, by my perfectionism. It's just heavy. So I just created an image to show the heaviness that I feel in my body and in my mind. So we'll take the next, maybe another 5 minutes. We'll see how we go. 5-10 minutes. You can do anything. You can draw on a piece of paper, Vinny. I've seen your artwork. He rawe. If you're like me and can't draw to save, I can't draw to save myself, ChatGPT.
So if kāro ai te tuatahi though he whānau tahi tātai, I don't think my prompts on AI were very good because it came out like this, but I still got all the raru going on in my head and everything, and I iweheo.
Gotcha.
And then te tino painga is, hoki atu ki te whānau.
Rawe.
Yeah, when I got the pictures, it just didn't say what I wanted it to say.
Oh, good, Auntie. Oh, I get it. Rawe, thank you. Thank you for that.
So,
wow.
ChatGPT. So, yeah, I think it sort of like Fire Georgie, I think you got to work around the prompts and you could spend a little bit of time on it. But I like how it sort of shows this wahine here who's like wrapped up in this all these, this tight web, it feels very heavy and burdensome, like you say. And you've got the anxiety, negative self-talk, and, you've got those messages coming down here, not good enough, pronunciation is wrong, like that kind of thing that goes on in the back of your mind, which is what I described. So, yeah, I think it did a pretty good first job at trying to, communicate what I wanted to say or how it makes me feel sometimes. Yeah.
Nice. I can definitely see isolation with the wahine, the main wahine, a sense of isolation. Tēnā koe.
Kei konei.
Oh, yeah.
Koera tākou.
Beautiful. Tēnō pai. Marama, e ki te ana te maunga.
Nā te tino teitei, and then I'm kind of sinking.
Yeah. And similar with what Auntie Georgie's image and Rangi Hurihia's image of isolation, like being alone. Yeah. Wow. Tēnā koe. Thank you for that. Okay. Pēhea koe, Vinny. Would you like to share what you've got?
Right. Yeah, nā, I kimi au tēnei, nā titi whakaturanga mo titi oriori. And, tino pai kia te rā kōrero mō tūrongo. Like, te tana, ai moe ana ke te kaha waiata rātou o te huiti pai tau that, hei kona rā taku whare kikino, that one?
Yeah.
I don't know, I just know the kōrero, like, after he lost Rua Putahanga to his brother, he went and chucked his whare into the moana. And after he chucked it in the moana, he just, ka ki te tonu ia i taua whare, ki ona hene mata. And, he haere ki te moana, tangi kauana, and I don't know if he thought that iwi didn't know what he was up to, but they're like, bro, why is he going down there and screaming all the time? He's always out there screaming and crying and like, and ka kohi rātou i ngā kupu ka tei ka tito waiata, hoki te kāinga ka waiata rātou iau kōru ki ai, and he's, yeah, they understand. But he tino pai kei taua hua tau, he whare e tū ana ki o whakaro, and like, you can physically destroy the whare, but it's still in your head. And I kaore au te pēra, like I don't go like, kaore hoki te kāinga pēra, ia hui, but if something goes wrong, it can stay with you. But he pai ki au te hoki atu ki tēnei pū rākau, me te mōhio ko pāke tēnei, I hara tēnei tā ahotanga hau.
Marama.
Yeah, kei te kaha kimi au hera me hei tautoko I au, mina ka pākino aua taupā, just nā, ko pāke nei ahotanga, like tērā whakamā, moke, but his one was way deeper.
Yeah.
I hoki tērā, just kia whai horopaki au, like, oh yeah, well, I wari koe te mihi atu ki tēnei, ki taha, rānei, hapa koe I tērā mea, just kia whai horopaki tonu.
Yeah. Ka pai. Tēnā koe, Vinny. Rawe.